God! That's what I was missing, Frank! That's what I was missing! Now I'm a real cowboy, everybody. Let's get on the horse and see what happens.
Yeah, here goes nothing, I guess.
I love beef, and I always wanted to know, where does it come from? How is it produced in the most perfect way possible? I came to Idaho to find out.
Located in the outskirts of Idaho Falls, this is Riverbend Ranch. There is a lot of spaces for the cows. It is the only facility I found that takes care of the entire process. From breeding, feeding, and processing, they do it all. It's unlike any other ranches I've seen, and I got to talk to the owner.
Frank, if your cows could talk, what would they be saying?
I love how I'm treated here. I love the fact that I know they're not going to eat me. These cows here. I'm going to say that.
He's talking about these cows. They are breeding cows. Their genetics are unlike any other, and they cost a pretty penny. Some are way more expensive than a house, way over $500,000. But even though these cows live like queens, all others are also free-range cows. Most importantly, they have a lot of room, unlike other ranches, where things are tight and they live a miserable life. So when I got a chance to cook an entire cow drum, I took it. This is about 100 pounds, and I'm gonna be doing something that you've never seen before. As you know, it's a tough piece of meat and it needs to be treated right. And to start, we need a grill.
Here's the deal. This is my setup over here. I'm gonna slide that right in so that this doesn't fall even more. I'm not sure if that's gonna hold or if it's gonna completely collapse during the cook, but we'll find out together. Before I start butchering that leg, I actually got a class yesterday. Check it out.
This is the Riverbend Ranch award-winning processing facility, and I got VIP access. You're coming in with me.
We gotta get suited up, everybody. You can't just go and see it. You gotta get suited up. Let's do that right now.
First thing you must do is wash your hands. Cleanliness is the most important. Now, during this entire tour, I learned a lot of things. Where the beef comes from, how it's processed, and most importantly, how it's also graded. They use this scanner here to tell the marbling. It helps the USDA agent to detect the marbling, which is little speckle of fat inside of the meat. The inspector will give its grading. 2 steps is choice and 3 is prime. In the end of the day, it's all about the intramuscular fat. From the outside, I thought that it has nothing else to do but the feeding. The more they eat, the fatter they get, the more intramuscular fat they will have. Boy, was I wrong.
How come ones are chubbier than other?
That's part of genetics.
Genetics.
There's 2 kinds of fat. There's back fat and then belly fat and rump fat. And then there's marbling.
And that's what you want.
That's where you want.
You don't want the external fat like me right here. You know, I'm full of Wagyu fat over here. You know what I mean? That's not good. You think if I was a cow, Frank, would I be a Wagyu cow or an Angus cow?
I have no idea until I look at the ultrasound. And I'll tell you.
That's a good answer. I guess we're going to have to put me through an ultrasound.
Let me know in the comments down below. You've seen all my videos and you know what I eat. If you had to pick, what is Guga in the inside? Because after looking at the entire facility and having an incredible class, it was time for me to get a real class on how to butcher meat properly. At this stage, I thought that I was going to do everything by myself. But no, the master butchers at Riverbend Ranch taught me everything I needed to know.
It's really cold here in Idaho, everybody. 50 degrees Fahrenheit equal to Miami weather is kind of freezing, you know what I'm saying? Oh my God! Yeah! Yeah!
That isn't heavy.
What? Bro, have some respect.
At this stage, I went straight to work. I'll be honest with you, after that class, it was not difficult. I went ahead and quickly deboned it, set the bone aside, and it was almost ready to become a beef parm instead of chicken parm.
So here's the deal. We got a lot of cowboys coming by, and I don't want to disappoint them. So I wanted this to cook a little bit faster. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just trying to flatten it out, because the last thing I want is to disappoint the cowboys. Check out what they put me through.
So it's your rope, it's a loop. So
Okay.
we're gonna try to catch the cows with that, right?
Okay.
Almost.
Well, that was quite embarrassing.
So just like a baseball, wind it up and throw it like a baseball.
All right, let's see. It's not as easy as it looks, everybody.
Hang on just a minute. Wait just a second.
Okay.
Just a second. Try this. This might help.
Oh, yes.
That'll help.
Oh, okay. Release. Yeah! That's what I was missing, Frank. That's what I was missing. Now I'm a real cowboy, everybody. Let's get on the horse and see what happens.
Yeah, here goes nothing, I guess.
Now the cows here are free-range cows. However, as a true cowboy, there's one skill you must master, and that is to rope any cow if needed. Sometimes they need to be doctored, and the best and most humane way to do it is with a cowboy.
You'll want to come in here. Stay wide, he can't hurt you out here, right? Even if he steps back, he can't get you. Man, I can already tell you're gonna catch. You gotta get closer. Oh, see, got it.
I got it, but I didn't get it.
You did. Little bit closer, right there.
Oh.
Look.
Oh. It's a lot harder than it looks. I tried twice, everybody. It is a lot harder than it looks. I have huge respect for the cowboys, the ones that really take care of the cattle. Let me tell you something. I can cook a steak a lot better than I can rope, but that was a lot of fun.
Yep, let's be real. I'm not a cowboy. These are different breed of men, and they taught me a huge lesson. But there's one thing a cowboy told me that hit me hard.
What's the never ever promise?
Well, it's our promise to the consumer that the beef that's sold under our brand will never have been given growth hormones, artificial growth hormones, and never fed antibiotics. So that's the promise. And 90% of all beef grown in America has been grown with artificial growth hormones. People don't know that.
So you're telling me every steak that you've ever sold, no antibiotics ever?
No antibiotics, no.
Wow.
So if an animal gets sick, we will treat it, but that's taken out of the program. It won't be sold under our brand name. It'll be sold to grocery stores.
Wow, and look how she just comes right up to you, everybody. Check it out, just like that. She's so pretty. If you want no antibiotics, you know where to get it. I love those guys, and the last thing I want is to disappoint them. So I'm treating this animal with a tremendous amount of respect, and we're about to have a feast when this thing is done. Now that we got it here, the key is patience. We gotta cook this nice and slow because it's a tough cut of meat. Even though there are some very tender cuts, we wanna cook it gentle, get a nice beautiful color on it because the finish is gonna be epic. Come over here, take a look. Look at that. Nice golden brown, that's what we want. Whenever you cook with open fire, you wanna leave all the fat in there because that actually helps protect the good part of the meat. The fat will render, will hit the coast and come back as smoke, flavoring the meat. That's what you want. With that being said, we can't just eat this by itself. We need a side dish, everybody, and we're making a big one.
Now, if you've been watching me for a while, you're probably thinking, what side dish is Guga gonna do now? As I have done so many. But come on, we are in Idaho. What do they have here?
Oh my goodness. You got potato for years out here, everybody. Oh my God.
Feeding the nation, feeding the
Feeding
world.
the
Really
world.
feeding the world.
Look at this. This is insane. Oh my God, that's a lot of potatoes. Well, Idaho is known for a lot of things, but there's one thing it's known the most, and that would be this, everybody. You're looking at French fries for years right now. This is actually a cellar, so they harvest potato once a year.
So a seller can hold a potato for up to a year. It keeps it at the right temperature so they don't rot, and it lasts. One seller can hold up to 8 million potatoes. Next time you have Idaho potato, it might have come from here. However, since we're in Idaho and they eat potatoes all the time, I decided to do something completely different so that the cowboys can experience it. I first started with a generous amount of oil in a huge pan. Then some protein went in. I started with chicken, cooked that up for a little bit, and immediately threw in some chorizo mix, followed by Riverbend hot dogs. You want to cook this up a little bit. You will infuse flavor throughout all of the meat, which is what we want. To deglaze the pan, I threw in some vegetables, red bell peppers, white onion, and garlic. Mix that up real good, and once everything was fully mixed, beef broth goes right in. You want to mix that and make sure everything is deglazed. If not, the bottom will burn. Next, some rice goes right on top. Now, if you've ever been to Spain, you know exactly what I'm making. Paella, usually done with seafood. I know cowboys will like this kind of meat a lot better. Once the stock has dried out a little bit, you want to cover the whole thing up and let it cook. Now we're gonna have a lot of cowboys in the house, and if there's one thing I want to cook for them, it's my favorite piece of meat, and that would be the queen of all meats, picanha. But I didn't stop there, as I went with a generous amount of steaks, because I have a feeling these cowboys can eat. And even though the cow leg is big, it's not big enough for these guys. As I found out, they're also bringing their families. And the last thing I wanted to do was to disappoint. you ever cooked on live fire, there's one thing you must do, and that is to use something called salmuera, which is literally water and salt, and you use some aromatic leaves to baste it. This will do two things: slow down the heat, produce more flavor, get it nicely well seasoned, and most importantly, prevent anything from burning. It's one of those techniques I love using whenever you're cooking with live fire. It's something I can stand behind, because the proof is in the pudding, and these were some perfectly cooked steaks. Even the cow leg itself is just marvelous, as each one was better than the other. Juicy, tender, and exactly what you would expect from perfect beef. After the whole day of cooking, the only thing left to do was to enjoy. This was an incredible experience. Overall, I've learned more on this trip than any other. Knowing where my beef comes from makes me happy. The fact that I can count that there's no antibiotics, the cows are treated right, the beef is super flavorful and tender is exactly what I want. And I ask Frank to tell my audience one final message.
You must know that when you taste our beef, you're going to notice a difference. It's made in America, bred in America, born in America, processed in America. When you buy it, you're going to notice a difference.
Well, I can stand that behind that, because I gotta be honest with you, your steak's pretty good, brother. They taste pretty good, I'm not gonna lie, everybody.
Thanks to everyone that participated in this video. This was a journey that I will never forget. In fact, I'm so impressed with their entire operation and with the quality of this beef. I'm changing beef suppliers. From now on, all my beef comes from Riverbend Ranch. If you'd like to get yourself some of the best beef you ever had, check out the link on the description down below, because this one is as good as it gets. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe. And we'll see you guys on the next one.